Hello friends, it's Techman Pat, and today we've got a classic unboxing. This is something different. This is the DriveSense Ranger Duo dashcam camera with a front and back. This has just been sent by DriveSense to me for a review. So what we're gonna do today in this video is actually unbox it and install it, because installing is actually a big part of how easy it is to use. Let's have a look at what it comes with. So we've got a G sensor, which basically means that if something hits your car and it's plugged into your dash or has battery, which we don't know yet, this will turn on and start recording, which is great if you're parked and somebody hits your car. WDR, so wide dynamic range. Now I'm assuming that this means that your color grade from the lightest of the light will be very visible. So if you're, driving towards the sun, it doesn't break the rest of the visual spectrum and make it completely unusable. So also when it's dark, obviously it'll be much better to see at night. Now this is something that we'll have to test. But we'll see what happens. Dual cam, so this is a front and back wide angle. Of course you need a wide angle, which is great. The wider, not necessarily the better, but you do want to have a good view of what's kind of to the left and to the right of the front of your car, and especially at the back, because you don't know where it's going to come from. GPS, that is actually an interesting one. So this device is 250 Australian dollars. Now, this is an Australian company, which is pretty exciting, which is why I'm really excited to have a look at this. We've got the Sony Exmor. So it's a Sony sensor. That means, well, I don't know what it means. I don't know what the Exmor can do, but if we look to the furthest right, it's 1080p at 30 frames. Now, I'll check for the review what the Exmor is used elsewhere, and we'll see how they compare. And the maximum on this is a 64 gigabyte micro SD card. To note, you don't actually have to have a big storage on things like this, because the fact is you'll probably overwrite, and the only time you actually save is probably when the G-Shock goes off or when... All right, let's see what's actually inside. Also, you get a 1-year warranty with this, which is pretty cool. Usually it's actually 2, and I'm guessing as an Australian company, they'll abide by 2. So let's hope that's true. Anything else on the side? Nope. There is a battery, super capacitor. All right, 5.5 volt battery. We'll see what it does. Hey, we've got an SD card to start off with. Kingston's pretty good. We'll leave it at that. Ranger Duo, we've got a user manual. Let's start from here, from the smaller bits. This is a charging port for internal. Yeah, so this is your little smoky button thing that you use. You can plug it into here and obviously give power. So we've got 2.4 amps and a 1 amp. So one's for a phone and one's for the cam. So hey, you can plug it into the cam and you can still have a secondary one if you're already using it for charging. This is really good. This is really sleek, by the way. What else have we got here? Okay, so this is the front camera. Hey, that's really small, isn't it? That is very tiny. It's almost like a GoPro, isn't it? And at the top, we have the SD card. We've got the rear cam connecting here, which I don't know how that's gonna connect, if I'm gonna have to wire it through, and we'll go into that in a minute. We'll go to the car and install it. At the bottom, whoa. We've actually got cooling at the bottom and cooling on the side. So obviously this can get quite warm and still survive, especially in Australia, in Perth. If you leave your car outside, the inside gets extremely, well, just really bloody hot. And this is obviously black, so that'll be quite interesting to see how it survives the summer. Now, obviously it's winter now, so it might be hard to test that out, but yeah. And we've got a screen cover, which I'm not gonna take off. There's no point to do that. And there's a little bit here, which I don't know what it does. It seems like a little charging clip. So let's put that to the side here. Oh, so you connect. Oh, this is the GPS unit. Look at that, it's actually separate. That's quite cool. So this goes into your car at the top, and obviously you mount this here. It's a magnet, it's all magnets, look at this. Whoa. Why is it a magnet? That's incredible. So this is a GPS unit. It's separate. You can clip it on, take it out if you need to. I don't know why you would take it out. I'm gonna have to figure this all out. You put it in, it's clipped on. You know it's gonna be the right way because of the magnets. And then you have this, and you put it on your dash. That's pretty cool. I like the fact that you can easily take this off without screwing the whole thing off. So, you wanna get some footage off this, just grab it, and off you go. That's pretty cool. Now I'm really interested in this GPS module. I've never seen something like this, so it'll be interesting to have a look. DC in 5 volts, so that must be a way to power this without plugging in. Okay, so this is rear cam out, this is power in here. Okay, so we're gonna have to run some power to it. And let's have a look what's in this box right here. We'll just rip the box. This must be all the other extras. Okay, so we've got cables, long cables, which is, hey, anytime there's long cables, I'm always happy. The problem is a lot of things you get never give you long enough cables that actually can get from one end to the other. Most of the time they should. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got the rear camera, very small. Again, this is tiny. We've got a little ball joint here, so you can put it on and unclip it actually just by pushing it out. I'm gonna do that, I don't wanna break it. So I've got a sticker on here, 3M, put it on the back of your car and you'll be able to see what's happening from the back. Look, imagine getting hit in the back of the car. I mean, that has happened before. So, I mean, my wife got hit in the back of the car at the lights. You know, if that person didn't stop and was honest about it, then they could have run away and you know, would be out of pocket. And, you know, luckily, you know, we had insurance and whatnot, but this sort of stuff happens. And I suppose that's why these things are so popular. So we've got the camera, we've got the back one, and we have cable. This is a little funky little cable here. It's like a 4-pin. Looks like very old video, and maybe it is. Maybe that's the classical video connection, and just plugs it in straight like that. And you're gonna have to run this cable somewhere through the car to the back. It's not wireless, which is, I mean, I don't know how much technology goes into this, but at $250, you get a front camera with GPS. Like, first of all, I think that's pretty big. Then you get a rear camera, and you get the cable and the power, and I don't think that comes with it, so I think that was just sent along. These look like very long cables, so I'm guessing it should be okay. I think we should be okay with installing this in the car. So I have a sedan, nothing special. I actually rarely use it, and when I do, it's usually, you know, to either a very long drive or a very short drive. I don't drive it daily to work because I cycle to work, which is always good. But what we're gonna do, there's a couple of things we're gonna do. First of all, I'm gonna install this in 2 cars. I'm gonna install it in my wife's car for a week, and then I'm gonna install it in my car for a week because I know there's a couple of days I'm gonna be driving around to sites. So that's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna be driving long distances, and I'm really excited to see what the quality is like. So guys, let's jump to my car, and I'm gonna do a quick installation of this device. Okay friends, let's get this installed. We do have an instruction booklet. I'm hoping that it's pretty simple, but it kind of makes sense, right? You've got a front camera that you can install right around here, and you've also got a back camera. So let's start with the front camera. I've got my box. I've put everything back as it was, but I have unboxed all the plastic. I wish people would stop putting so much plastic in. It's like, you don't need it. Like, you've got nice little foam around it. You don't need more plastic. So one thing I'm going to remind people is that when you do take this out, there is a little plastic cover on the lens. Now that probably is, in my mind, the only reason and only place to have a plastic cover on the lens so it doesn't scratch. So we can see, we take that off, it's going to be much clearer when we drive and have a look. So I've got a long drive ahead of me today, and today is going to be the day I'm going to be recording the quality, but I also want to set it up and see how it is. And we've got our little mount here with the 3M tag. We've got our basically our GPS module here. Now, the way you'd probably want to install it is in a place that, you know, not only does it make sense, but that you won't obstruct your view, because you don't, you know, you want to drive, but you don't want it to obstruct your view, because at the end of the day, this should make you a safer driver, or at least not make you a worse driver. So there's a little spot right under the dash here that I think if I put it on there, it won't obstruct my view, and I'll push it up as much as I can towards there to make sure that it doesn't affect maybe even this or my view. So what we're going to do is we don't need this bit here for the time. We only actually need these 2 bits. The reason you need 2 at the time is because this is magnetically connected, and you want to connect it up in a way that doesn't, I have a GoPro mount here, so I don't want it touching it there. So I'm going to put it right up here as much as I can, and that way if that ever comes out, I can take it off. All right, here we go. And you want to make sure it's straight.
because that's also a problem if it's not straight. There you go, pretty easy. And the little bit here can move around. We can mount this bit here, there we go. That should not obstruct my view when driving. Now, obviously I'm not sitting in the driver's seat, that's besides the point. But it is well hidden behind this bit here, behind the rear screen mirror, and I'll be able to do that. So the next bit is actually doing the cabling for the power for this. Now, look, I don't like cables hanging around my car. I have a little charging thing here for the phone, but I honestly don't like it. So what can you do when you've got something like this? Well, first of all, it's not a new car, so it's not inbuilt. Like, you don't get this stuff inbuilt in older cars. So most of the time you'll be installing it into a car that doesn't have. So one thing you can do is obviously have the power cable hanging from here. And I think most new cars should come with a power slot somewhere in here, you know, inside the box here. But obviously this doesn't. This is not a new car by any stretch of the imagination, but it is the car I have. So the power cable, I'm hoping to actually run it up the side here, back around and down behind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off. It's gonna go in here. So I don't need that right now. I need to find the power right here. So I don't have to plug it into the device. It's plugged into this mount, which actually is pretty good. That's a great idea. And I'm gonna run it up to here, into here, and that way it's very much out of the way. This has 3 pins on here for power, so when you plug this in, or when you put it on there, it's literally just gonna nicely sit like so. So they provide you with this one here. Now it has both a 2.4 amp and 1 amp. So the 1 amp is for your camera, so you can plug it in like that, and then you can still have your phone, which I have over here. So that's really good. Now the one I used to have in here is this one here from Romos. They're both 2 amps. They're quick charge 3.0. So I don't know. I'll have to use this for now, see how it goes. And let's get the back camera done. So obviously, again, we're gonna have to run a cable through somewhere. And this time we want to make sure that this one's also nicely hidden. We don't want it to be off hanging somewhere. In the back here, we've got it to run up here across the thing. So there's a lot of cable running, isn't there? Be nice to have it wireless. All right, guys, let's go to the back. So there's a little 3M sticker here. Take the cap of the lens, find the center spot. All right, we've got a bunch of cables hanging around. Let's finish the job. Let's connect this up to here. You don't have to connect the back, but for the sake of this, we're gonna connect it up for the sake of a review. The only one left is this one here, which I can't really do until I use some sort of sticky sticker or something. Oh, just tie that up to here. All right, friends, thanks for watching. I hope this little unboxing installation has been a little bit useful if you're looking into a camera like this. This is what it's gonna look like, unfortunately, but you know what? Wait for the review. Let me know what you guys think of this right now. It's $250, but what we'll do the review. I'll get some footage of what I'm going to record today in a rainy day, so it's going to be interesting, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys. Catch you in another video. Bye.